everybody and their mama got an opinion where you stand. So I'm DBrklyn. Welcome to BTR. I got it, my man's Anon. What's good?
What's good, brother?
So we got a special topic for you on mentors and what it is, and we're just going to have a little conversation about it. Take it over.
So, beautiful day, sitting in the wonderful 808, and me and DBrklyn got to a conversation, and we were going down our topic list, and I was like, man, I really want to talk about something that's really important, because I don't think that this happens enough outside of certain sectors of the world that we live in. And so for that being said, talking about mentor. So mentor as a noun is an experienced and trusted advisor. And mentor as a verb, they advise or train someone, especially a younger colleague. And that's normally where you'll find it, where somebody that's a little bit older, somebody that's a little more experienced is showing something to somebody that's not. And that's where the flip-flop goes, where you don't have to necessarily be younger, because we can have like a young kid who's, really into technology, grew up with it, and they're showing their parents how to be successful in their workplace job because the parents are struggling to keep up with the technology. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a teaching factor. A younger person can know something a little bit better than somebody experienced in life.
Right.
But on one aspect of it, they don't have the knowledge or whatever. So there's three types of mentoring. A traditional one-on-one mentoring, which is just face-to-face. Distance mentoring, which is two parties being in a different location, and group mentoring. Group mentoring is basically having it can be reminiscent of a classroom environment.
Now, I feel you, DBrklyn, because one of the things that I really like to get into is the encompassing thing is called mentorship. And mentorship is the guidance provided by a mentor, especially an experienced person in a company or educational institution. It is also a period of time during which a person receives guidance from a mentor. And that's really what we're really honestly getting into. It's the actual now, it's the action of it. And a lot of times we don't think about mentoring because we've never been exposed to it.
Yeah.
Other times we've been exposed to it and we didn't even know we've been mentored.
That's hilarious, because before the military, I never knew I knew what a mentor was. I didn't see it for myself.
Right.
Until then. But I did through track coaches, basketball coaches, soccer coaches, whatever. But it came to a point where I didn't look at it. That was his coach. That's his job. That's what he's getting paid to do. Same thing with when I joined the military with NCO Corps. That's their job. But certain people take it a different way and trying to not mold, but get the best out of that person based on their strengths.
Right. Nah, I definitely feel you. So I'm just going to go over a couple of little things dealing with mentoring, and then we're going to get really deep into just the really communication aspect. I don't want to bore you with just the logistics and the structure of it. But in mentoring, you have training, as we talked about, motivation, advice, success, direction, coaching, support, and establishing goals. And all of those things all encompass mentorship. And those are the tools and the keys that you need that are going to allow you to be successful in life, because yes, you can do things on your own. Don't get me wrong. If you're gifted and you're creative, that's great. No one might not be as smart as you in what it is that you're good at. So that means, as one guy once said, if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room. Now you need to find somebody that's smart and something that you're not, that's going to complement what it is that you're doing. And that's where the mentorship comes in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if you have a mission or a task at hand, I'm gonna get off of this military thing and get with the people about just life in general. So if you have music, right?
Right.
I'm a producer, you're an artist.
Right.
I make a beat, I send it to you, we get in the studio, we record it, we go over, hey, I don't understand what you're getting at. You come to me, I don't understand what you're getting at on this part of the beat. Tell me where your direction on what you're trying to get at. And then same thing, I don't get this one line. I'll come to you as an artist, I don't get this one line. Why are you saying this? It's like, yeah, it sounds cool, but I don't get this. So it's taking the strengths of two parties and making it one for the same common goal. And that's basically what it is. So yeah. Can Anon make beats? Yes, he can make beats. Can I write rhymes? Yes, I can write rhymes. But we play to our strengths to make the same common goal. And that's it.
Right. Definitely. And you hit the target goal. And so mentoring is about setting and achieving goals from my perspective. And so when we look at it I'm gonna look at it from a different aspect of the music. And it's just something I came across recently that I wasn't aware of. But we talk about artist development in the land of music. And so the industry has pulled away from the A&R. But when you had a great A&R, they were responsible for that artist development. They were responsible for making sure that you had the relationships. Like I heard a story of an artist who had to go to all of the program directors and have conversations with them so they can get the music on the radio. And they were being mentored, little do they know, that the importance of networking and relationships. And we're talking about an era before we had computers like what we are on right now. We're talking about an era where they had to go to the library and look up encyclopedias, as they put it. And I'm like, wait, what? Yeah. But they went and had to do the homework and research. And so that was setting a goal. I need to go do this homework and research to talk to this program director in order to hit the goal of getting my music out there. And it worked. And they became a successful artist behind that. Now they're considered in the realm of the legends, and they're living a very good life, and they're highly respected within the industry just based off of that mentoring that they didn't even know because they were young when it happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, in the aspects of mentorship, I look at two words, and that is intention and expectations on all parties.
Okay.
So intention, what is your intention? Why are you doing this? Why are you going about it this way? And then this goes for all parties. And what is your expectations? Going back to where I said with the goal, what is the expectation is the goal? That's the key to all of this. When you're talking goal-oriented tasks, you have to have a starting point.
Right.
If you don't have a starting point, you're never going to get shit done because you don't start.
Right.
So, as far as just life in general, you meet a girl at a club. You want to get. I don't mean to go Martin or anything, but GTD. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
Nope.
You like. So you Martin, I'm Tommy.
Okay.
So it was a scene in Martin that was hilarious. But anyway, GTZ, get your draws. And he pulled out the draws in the courtroom. Shit was funny as hell. But no, you trying to get in with a female or whatever, or vice versa, a female trying to get with a male or whatever you're into. So you're at a club, your expectations might be, you could expect to do whatever you want. You just got to stay ready for whatever situation comes to be. Because
Right.
yeah, you're talking to this female and you don't know she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs or something, or that dude's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs or anything. And then, but you kind of see certain things, but the friend is real quiet.
Right.
And that friend, that could actually work with you. You know what I mean? You
Nah, I
never
feel
know.
you.
So your expectation, you still met the goal. It just didn't go as planned. And that's where the expectations plays a huge role. 90% of things that people are set out to do, not everything's going to go according to plan. It'll work itself out, just not the way exactly how you expected it.
Right. No, I definitely agree with you on that. But I don't know, bro. You actually just woke me up when you started talking about intentions. Because, when we go back over that little list I just read, we have to look at the advice. And a lot of times we get so big head where when a person is giving us advice, we are misreading their intentions.
Yes.
And so mentorship also our mentoring comes with building trust.
Yeah.
You have to establish a trust relationship to know that person has your best interests at heart. And you as a mentor,
second part of definition, an experienced and trusted advisor. You have to build that trust first.
Exactly. And so when you are a mentor, it's not about you walking on water. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying to be perfect, but you're trying to represent success. That's your goal. You want to represent success. You have to be confident. You have to be alive. No one's going to follow somebody who's monotone. Life sucks. If you notice you do it this way, you would be better. No one wants an Eeyore. So as a mentor, you have to be firm, but you also got to exude a certain amount of dominance and energy and professionalism as well. That shows that, hey, that guy DBrklyn, I can follow him. I see what he's doing. Man, did you hear what he did the other day? Yeah, hey, you mind taking me on? Which we see a lot in the music.
Yeah.
A whole lot. Like we just watched a motivator where Hit Boy said he was the greatest student of who? Kanye West. That was his mentor, whether he knew it or not.
Yeah. There's a confusion in what the role of a mentor is and the role of the mentee. And I'm going to speak on the mentee level.
Okay.
Because egos plays a huge part. Not everybody knows everything.
Right.
So I don't care. In the military, a sergeant major can still learn from a private.
Right.
A CEO an entry-level employee can teach that CEO something.
I agree.
Something.
Yeah.
Not everything. People look at positions, age, everything, and just put it on a pedestal as an end-all, be-all.
Right.
And you never know. Getting back to music, there's a lot of respect on both sides between me and Rasta Dage.
Right.
He doesn't realize that part of the mentorship and trying to mentor him as an artist, as a person, as a man. He's not that young now.
Right.
But just try to better himself.
Right.
But he doesn't realize how he mentored me.
Right.
Because it goes back to 2005 when I came up with the quote, "Dreams are interpreted in an unconscious state of mind."
Right.
What happens when you wake up depends on inspiration. And that's what he instilled in me, is the inspiration to actually want to help this dude.
Right.
By helping this dude, I'm helping myself. he's
Right.
helping me indirectly. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a give and take like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mentoring is definitely give or take. It's not a one-way type of thing, because the one thing I think we fail at a lot is an evaluation.
Yes.
We definitely we fail horribly in evaluation in every aspect of life. There's not enough feedback given to let a person know where they're falling short and where they're doing excellent. And more times than not, we give feedback when a person falls short. We don't give the feedback when a person's doing excellent. We don't give the feedback when a person is almost there and they can tweak a few things, which is what mentors do.
Yeah.
They guide you to a direction that allows you to be even more successful. Hey, you know what, DBrklyn? I love your hi-hats, but I need you to go listen to this right here, and they're going to show you something about your kicks that you might not know. That's the mentorship. I'm giving you a direction, because your hi-hats are fire, but I think you're just kind of missing something that I can't necessarily even possibly give you. But I think as you go that direction, you might actually find something that you didn't even know about yourself. And a lot of people get scared of that. It's the uncomfortableness.
Yeah.
And a mentor, excuse me, is definitely going to put you in a position, because of that trust, that it's okay to be uncomfortable, because you trust that they know something or see something that you don't. And that's, for me, where really I love having mentors, because they can definitely look at the path ahead of me and be like, well, I made that mistake. That's probably not a path you need to go. Go about it this route, because I'm going to touch on this briefly. We have a negative problem in our society that we say a person has to grow through things.
Mm-hmm.
No, you do not have to grow through things always. If I go get AIDS, you don't have to go out there and get AIDS as well, just to learn that AIDS is bad. Right? I got AIDS from being stupid. Go get contraceptives, condoms, go get screened, and make sure the other person is inactive, just like you stay inactive. And then when your test results come back, now y'all can come together. Guess what? No one's getting AIDS. And I just use that as a horrible example.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Yo, I was lost until you said contraceptives. I thought you said A's as in like school A's.
No.
I didn't hear the AIDs.
Yeah. It's all good, brother. But that's what the mentor and the guided path is, because there are certain pitfalls that you should not have to go through, because it's called lessons learned.
Yes.
You should be building off of my mistakes, not reliving my mistakes. Because you're just reliving my mistakes. What are you doing? You're stuck in the past. You replay. There you go. The cycle just continues. And where do we grow from there? We don't. So,
well, a lot of people look at things as when you're learning something, not everything has to be a certain way. There's more ways to skin a cat. I understand. On an efficiency level, did I say that word right?
Yeah, you did. You did.
Yeah, that word. What's the word I used again?
On an efficiency level.
Efficiency. Yeah, because I'm like, did I say inefficiency?
All good, brother.
Yeah. On an efficiency level, there's more ways to skin a cat, yes. There has to be a standard in certain situations, yes.
Right.
But to allow somebody to grow into their own, that's a different story.
Right.
Certain situations dictate, yes, you should do it like this.
Right.
I'm talking academic and certain specialty fields. There's a
Correct.
standard that needs to be upheld. Uh, you're not going to be willy-nilly in surgery, using, like, playing around with scalpels and everything.
Right.
You're just not. There's a certain way. I that was a bad joke, but you're not going to be willy-nilly. There's certain procedures and certain orders on how things are supposed to be done within that profession. I understand that. There's so many things that we can learn by seeing somebody struggle, even though we succeeded already.
Right.
It doesn't matter who it is. Like, how many times did Kanye West, did Hit Boy, did Nas, did No ID fail at a particular style or a particular beat they were trying to make?
Right.
How many people fail? Everybody does. You know how many whack ass beats I have?
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't hear them. But there's lessons learned because, oh, I did this and I remember that mistake, but it just didn't work in that situation, but it could work later down the road. And that's where people miss the and it's never going to come from internally. And that's where the mentorship comes in. It's like, I play something for Anon, Fluid comes in and say, hey, now you could do it. You remember what you did back in the day?
Right.
Do that on this shit and it'll work.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's where mentorship brings the best out of people.
Right.
How can we make it better?
Right.
Because growth is a key in everything. If you're not growing, you're just doing the same shit twice.
Right. No, I agree with you. But we also, I'm gonna talk on two parts of this. I'm gonna piggyback off of what you just said, and I'm gonna say that you have to also be careful, because there's a difference between mentoring and advice.
Yes.
Though mentoring does involve advice, but don't confuse a person that's giving you good advice as a mentor.
Yeah.
Because that same person that's giving you good advice, if you have not established trust with them, they can also give you bad advice. Because they're snakes. They're looking to get something from you. So they're going to only advise you to the point where they are succeeding. And whenever they get what they need, they're leaving, which a mentor would never do. Another thing I want to touch on that you said is we have to never forget the test environment. And that's a big industry thing, especially as you're in the IT realm. And so this is where the mentor comes into play. Hey, DBrklyn, we got this new beat that we need you to put together, this, that, and we want you to play with these sounds. And we want you to go live doing it. We got the cameras coming in, we got the execs coming in, they want to see you do what you do. Mm-hmm. The mentor's job is to say, hey, DBrklyn, look, you got about 5 hours before this goes down. Why don't you go ahead, throw your headphones on, take the sample pack, and go ahead and play with it, experiment a little bit. That's the test environment.
Yeah.
That way, now when it's come time for you to present live in front of these execs, you're comfortable now.
Yeah.
You're no longer in the test environment. Are you still learning? Yes. But you've become initiated into what it is that you're about to do, that you're not looking confused and like, I'm sorry, guys, it's not really working like it was supposed to. That's not the right sound. Give me a second. I'm having technical. No.
That's called rehearsal method.
Exactly. You have the rehearsal. That's your test environment. You made sure that your sample pack's loaded properly. You made sure that the sound wasn't too loud, because they could have been set too loud. where you had to automatically adjust your sound to compensate for that. You had to turn the bass down because it had too much bass. Little things that you would only know that you don't want the real world to know. That test environment is so, so important. You don't ever want to do things willy-nilly real time.
Yeah.
Unless it's an emergency, and that's different. If you have an idea, work the idea when it's not something that's going to affect other people. Don't test it when it has impacts on other people, because if it fails, it can be a negative on you, decrease your confidence, and in that aspect, now you're looking at the mentor like, why'd you let me fail? Where were you at, man? You know what I'm saying? So that was something I really wanted to touch on as I was hearing you. I was like, man, that kind of like, ooh, yeah.
So in the world of mentorship, there is something that I thought of that can't really be a standard or anything, but something people don't talk about or even think about is how to create mentors. Mentors making better mentors than themselves. And that's something people don't look at. And this is something I've only seen, I can't say speak for everybody, but the only place I've ever seen that is through the military. You want your soldiers to take your spot and do a better job than when you do. So when you're at the next rank or position, you don't have to worry about nothing. They already got it covered. They're doing what you were doing, if not better.
Right.
So how do we do that for the rest of society to become mentors themselves and want to become mentors? Because I think that's the key right there. A lot of people don't. Society as a whole has within the human condition have a selfish mentality.
I agree.
So how do we create the mentors that's needed in society?
That's definitely an interesting question you propose, because that really comes down to stop being cutthroat. And I think a lot of times in society, we become cutthroat, where we don't want to see people do better than us. We want the success. We don't understand being humble. And we have to change that mindset where instead of not supporting, we support, we uplift. But then the person who's moving up pulls back down and brings others up along the way. And not by just 100% handouts, but it goes back down to Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I think everybody should read that at least once in their life, whether you're trying to get into business or not. The difference is going to the boss asking for a pay raise and going to the boss asking him, how does he make his money? And there's a taboo in our society. Oh, you don't talk about how much a person's salary is. Why not? What are you scared of transparency? Why are you worried that much? Are you scared that you might find out a truth that you don't like?
It's bigger than that. It doesn't even have to be on a monetary value.
Oh no, I'm with you.
How did you get in the nobody asks any questions anymore like that.
They don't.
How'd you get to where you want to be? It's like people are just sitting back in the cut, just watching.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, and now I'm gonna do what he did. And so when I get in a position, I'm gonna yank him out of the position. And that's how a lot of society is functioning.
Yeah.
I think it's dead wrong.
Oh no, and I'm with you. And I think that's the disconnect, in my personal opinion, where we have to get to a point where we're truly 100% supporting people, but we're asking the right questions. And those who are at the top, you have to also ask the right questions to engage the mind, because if you're not engaging the mind of those that are below you and surrounding you, and you're just showing them the great good time and telling them, hey, it's possible for you too. No, it's not. Where you got to is where you got to. It might not be possible for the next person if they don't have a vision.
That's where the attention comes in. That's where the intention comes in.
Exactly.
Maybe that mentor, maybe he wasn't thinking big enough.
There you go. There you go. I recently heard a guy say dreams and a lot of people have died as they became adults because they got so caught up in just surviving. You got to dream a little bit more. That's really what it comes down to. And when you dream a little bit more, your vision starts to open up a little bit more. Do a dream board, literally. And they call it other things, but I know it's a dream board. And put things on that board of where you want to be, things you want to accomplish and achieve in life. And you would be surprised the amount of very successful people out there that have dream boards or vision boards. That's what they call them also. That have them and they achieve them. And as you still don't believe what I'm saying, there is a book and a video about a subject called The Secret. And they even touch on it in that, where a guy sat down with his son, pulled up this vision board that he had built 10 years prior, I think it was. And he had everything almost to a T, exactly from the house that he lived in to the family. Everything was all on that vision board. And that's the reality. Have a vision, have a dream, and work with your mentor. If you don't have one, find one. You'll be surprised what you are actually missing in life by just being selfish. I can do it by myself.
I don't know anybody that did it by himself. Bill Gates did not become a billionaire by himself. Did he design all them software? No. No. He had a vision. And I'm not saying everybody become a Bill Gates, because there's some things that we're not going to go there.
There you go.
There's some things I don't agree with. But there's things that you can take as a person, as a man, as a woman, as a kid. Doesn't matter who you are, what your age is. There's something called time, and people think there's an overabundance of it. That I got time. I could just do it. I could wait next year, 5 years from now, and then I'll get there.
Right.
But where a lot of people miss it is that's when the rehearsal portion, practice on it now. Do it now.
Right.
Because if you're not doing anything with it, it's nothing. What is it? It's just talk. That's all it is. Now, I ain't asking people to be a role model, because that's a whole different subject.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people get confused with role models and mentors. There's a difference, and it's not a fine line. It's a hard line.
Yes.
It really is, and that's a different subject. We'll touch on that soon.
Yeah.
But the best thing, it starts with you.
I agree.
You gotta want it. You gotta want to do it. Find out what you love, whether it's computers, whether it's building something, whether it's talking to people, whether it's making music, whether it's teaching people.
Right.
People could teach, you could know all the knowledge in the world, but what are you doing with it? Teach the next man. And that's all I got for you, really.
No, I feel you. I mean, I pretty much said what I said, and I'm going to stand on what I said. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. That I mentor a lot of people, and I get a lot of feedback. And one thing I would just challenge you, if you're in a position of power, is don't take that power for granted. Always get that feedback. I just did it a couple weeks ago, and I went around the room and I told them, hey, tell me good, bad, neutral. The only standard I had for them to give me this feedback, and it was about 9 people in the room of different, levels, ages, and positions, was that you can repeat what somebody else said, but you cannot not say something. That was the only thing I gave him as a standard. You will give me some feedback. And I told him, see, I evaluate all y'all. So here's a chance for you to evaluate me.
Yeah.
And I did that also as a level of mentorship, because I'm mentoring my leaders who are below me, who are in charge of the lower people, also how they should be and how it's okay to have back and forth feedback. You should be evaluated that if you are doing a good job, not just by those that are above you. Success is not measured down. Success is measured up.
Yep.
That's basically what I got for you, bro.
Well, like I said, we have other topics. I just named one in role models. We'll be doing that soon because it's very connected to this. So why wouldn't we do it? So on that note, I appreciate your time, Anon. I appreciate everybody watching. And we'll see you next time. I'm DBrklyn.
I'm Anon.
And we out.
My bad.
Bloopers.
Yep, I thought you were going. All right.
No, that's it. Like I said, 45 seconds. Boom.
No, I got you. All right, I'm back. No, I feel you there, Deep. Well, no, hold on. My eyes are closed.